And good evening once again. I'm Jim Mertens, and this is Ask 9. And once again, Becky Phelps has the day off. And it's a chance for us to talk a little more in depth about some of the stories that may be interesting to you, as well as answer some of your questions to get a better idea of how television operates, especially how TV9 operates. And today, I got a special guest that I want to introduce. You may know him. Joining me is, of course, this guy. Hey, how you doing?
Wow, Ask 9. I feel
9.
honored to be a part of one of the first shows.
I'm honored. It's Joe Winters, of course, chief meteorologist and bottle washer here at TV9.
Yes, it's right over there. Just finished it up.
You know, this is your favorite type of season because it is now transitioning into the colder weather and the winter season.
So nice to have seen the frost last week when we finally got it. Now, it wasn't the latest frost we've ever seen, but
Not
it
by
was
a long shot.
late enough that it was like, was it going to happen? Is it going to happen?
Yeah.
It's never failed us every year. And now as you look at the 9-day forecast that we just got done showing on TV9, more 50s and 30s for highs. So yeah, it's transitioning, of course, toward the cooler weather season, which is obviously my favorite.
Why do you like that season the most?
Because you can always put on as many layers you want and still stay comfortable. In the summer, you can't do that.
So I know so many people out there that like to complain about, oh, it's too hot. And then they seem to be the same people that say, oh, it's too cold. Are you one of those people that you pick a season and you defend it and you stick with it?
I obviously will defend, do I like all four seasons? Yes, of course I do. I love the change in weather. But if I had to pick one, it would be the cold weather season, and that has been always my life. I've always loved that very, very much.
Do you like the shoveling?
It's not bad. Lately, we haven't had the
snowblower.
I have a snowblower,
right.
but lately, the last couple winters, as I've told people, I hope we actually have a winter this year because the last couple have been so mild as far as snow. 2 years ago, what do we have? 2 weeks of winter? 1 week of snow, 1 week of cold, and that was it.
It was very cold.
Well, it was, but it was only 2 weeks.
Yeah, no, you're right.
So we haven't had have much, so I'm hoping for a good winter, but who knows?
Well, and you always think when it's warm at the beginning of the season is that, God, the other shoe's going to drop and we're going to be having an awful, awful winter.
Well, and people are always worried, too, that you're going to not get a fall, right? They want a long, extended fall so it doesn't just go straight from summer all the way right straight to winter, and that certainly is the case this year so far. Our fall and the next 9, even then into early November, are looking really pretty nice.
Well, let's talk about the big predictor, the woolly bear caterpillar. That is what it looks like, as a matter of fact. Now, everybody knows this, but I'm going to say this anyhow. According to folklore, the amount of black on the woolly bear in autumn varies proportionately with the severity of the coming winter in the locality where the caterpillar is found. And you say to that?
Of course.
Oh,
I got to trust the woolly bear. Right? There's great folklore that's always around.
Absolutely.
Now, do I believe that that's going to happen? I'll tell you in March what happened. We'll see what the woolly bear said. Do you believe the groundhog in February?
Sometimes.
Sometimes not. But
not.
You just got to kind of watch. It's fun, though, to follow those things in weather folklore, and that's why we always talk about the woolly bears aware, because there have been plenty of woolly bears out there already. I don't know if you've seen any, but they've been out there.
I have seen some at Morgan Creek Park,
Sure,
which is where I saw the first one, and it was all black. And then, boy, there are a lot on Mount Trashmore, the trails there.
Okay.
It's in those areas that have more grass or more vegetation that you're really going to see.
Did you notice the colors on those on Mount
They were more striped.
More striped?
Yeah. So
Okay,
well,
interesting. Let's look at some of our woolly bear facts that we have. Now, this I learned actually in doing research for this. And let's advance our graphic. There we go. The body of a woolly bear is made up of 13 segments. I didn't know that until I started really looking. And those 13 segments represent the 13 weeks of winter.
They correspond nicely that way.
It really works out very, very nicely. Now, believe it or not, in 1948, there was research done on the woolly bear caterpillar. It was Dr. C.H. Kernan, and he was with the American Museum of Natural History in New York City. New York City, yes. He decided to do research on woolly caterpillars. And he studied the Bear Mountain State area in New York, so it was a very small area where he studied these caterpillars. And he found out that, again, if the color of the segment was more brown, it meant something. If the color was more black, it meant something. Well, the research was just confined to such a small area that they felt, in the short period of time that it actually happened, they felt it was not conclusive scientific proof. But yet, his research was out there, and it has been something that has been researched. So, will it determine the winter? Now, the color may have determined, now the color that we talked about, the orange and black that you spoke of, it may have been determined by the previous winter, not the winter that's coming up.
That's
So
interesting.
That's another
All right.
little factor as well. But we have seen many woolly bears here in eastern Iowa. So I just want to give you a little look. Let's take a look at this. Okay.
Oh, there he goes.
There's our woolly bear. So if it has more black than brown,
Right.
that should portend a harsher winter. Now, on the other hand, if it has more brown than black, it should be a milder winter.
And that one's got a lot of brown.
That's just our nice little. That's not this year's woolly bear.
Exactly.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
So let's take a look at
He's
some.
a quick one.
He is. He's moving fast. Let's take a look at some of this year's woolly bears. So this is
Oh,
from
very
Ann
good.
in Hop Kitten. Now hers on the left, to me, more black than brown.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. Now, obviously, Ken, Sue, and Chris, who sent it in from Cedar Rapids,
Much more brown, yeah.
more brown than black.
Right.
Loris up in Farley, maybe an even amount if you kind of stretched them out. So that would again portend maybe a milder. We have more. Look at Julie and Marion.
A lot of brown?
That would be a milder winter,
Yeah.
according to weather folklore and the research that was done by Dr. Kernan. But look at this. North Lynn County, Bill, look at that.
See, the first two I saw were all black, and I was worried.
So let's take a look at Solon. A lot more orange, but
So if you don't want a real strong winter, what you're saying is move to Solon or Marion.
well, right now Solon and Marion looking good. I wonder though, and I could not find this in my detailed research, if each line indicates a month. So I mean, does it
fair
start
enough.
with December and kind of, or a week? Does it start with December and kind of move through? But that would indicate early winter may be harsh and later winter may not. Well,
If you count each of those segments.
but take a look at this. Let's go to Mount Vernon and Terry.
Oh my gosh.
That is a harsh winter. So what's going to happen? Only the woolly bear caterpillar knows. But that's what it looks like right now from the caterpillars that we've seen here in eastern Iowa. So it's a little inconclusive as well as to what our winter will be like here, according to the woolly bear.
Do you trust the woolly bear caterpillar more than, let's say, the Farmer's Almanac?
Probably.
Really?
Well, the
Okay.
Farmer's Almanac is interesting. And I always go back to 1993. Big flood year here in Iowa.
Absolutely
The
right.
1990 Farmer's Almanac for 1993 predicted what? A drought. It was just the opposite. So do I look at it? Of course, it's fun to look at some of these predictions. It's fun to listen to the weather folklore that people have, and some people follow it, and they will count number of fogs. You may have heard this growing up in Wisconsin. The number of fogs that you have in the fall in early winter can tell you how many snows you're going to get. I have people that count that down and find out, again, weather folklore to see if that's accurate. They claim it's very, very accurate. Some people will follow the woolly bear. They claim that's accurate as well. Do you? Have you ever followed the woolly bear before this year?
Yeah.
You have?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, because to be honest, you see them all over, and the one thing you don't want to do, because it's got to be bad luck, is to step on it.
Well, of course not.
Yeah, you don't,
because
'cause
they
it's
are
okay.
trying to become a butterfly
Right.
in spring.
And when they are moving, they're actually just looking for a place to curl up and spend their winter, and so they're usually looking for a fallen log or a leaf pile or something that has moisture and that gives them a little protection, and that's why you see them on the move right now.
Well,
You
believe
got
it or
one more
not,
fact?
Oh, I've got more. We're not done yet. They'll come out when it's about 50 degrees in spring, but I read
Yes.
that they are protected to about 90 degrees, minus 90 degrees Fahrenheit, just in their little, where they are. Now, let's go back to the graphics.
Okay, I'm
if you can.
sorry.
You know how to run this.
Well,
I don't.
yeah,
Yep.
okay, I didn't do that. Oops,
Oh,
I really
oh
didn't
boy.
do that. Okay, we're in trouble now. Hold on a second here.
Let's try to
do
minimize. There
that.
you go.
Then let me do this, and
There we go. All right, now, you mentioned movement of the woolly bear.
Right.
Well, let's take a look at this.
Okay.
There's a couple other indicators that some people use when they're checking the woolly bear for what the winter will be like, not just the colors. They looked at the thickness of the hair. Now, a thick-haired woolly bear maybe portends a harsh winter, while a woolly bear that has sparse hair, a milder winter.
I don't think I've ever looked that closely.
Well, you really got to check out your woolly bears when you
Absolutely.
can. Now, what is the direction that the woolly bear is traveling when you see him? If the woolly bear is traveling north, it indicates a mild winter because he's staying to the north. However, should that woolly bear be moving south, he's trying to get away, and that could portend a long and cold winter.
I think I've seen most of them moving east to west, so it's non-committal.
I would say east to west is just kind of one of those toss-ups. We just don't know what's going to happen at that point. But those are other ways that people look at the woolly bear as well for what the winter will be like.
All right. We want to congratulate you, of course, 35 years here at KCRG. You have, many of you have grown up with Joe doing the weather, whether it was in the mornings or during evenings, or now your new schedule, which is mostly daytime. Congratulations on 35
I
years.
appreciate that.
And as long as we're here talking on Ask 9, I mean, why did you stay so long at one station?
We found a place that we absolutely loved. When we came, admittedly, we thought 3-4 years it would just be something that would be fun to do, fun place to be, and then kind of move on and see. But the station was great, the ownership was great, got to move up in positions, and it was just a good place to live, and found out we really loved Iowa and loved Iowans. So it was a good place to stay, and it, again, doesn't seem that long at all.
And tell me a little bit about the factors of forecasting the weather in eastern Iowa. I mean, you brought up, the flood and the derecho. I mean, two extreme weather extremes. Always a little something different in this weather.
Well, that's the thing about living here, right? I said I like the 4 seasons because you get 4 different types of weather too. The weather's not the same any time, any day, any year. It's always different. There's always something fun to look at. Even though we've had a real quiet string of weather, you can still look at facts and things about the weather here that are different. Covered plenty of weather extreme events. Would rather not cover any more derechos, any more floods, any more tornadoes. The Washington tornado comes to mind, of course. Right. The Vinton derecho, along with the derecho we had in Cedar Rapids, the blizzard that we had on Groundhog's Day, the ice storm of 2008. Plenty of activity that we've covered. I don't need to cover any more of that, but it has been nice to have different weather to cover.
Okay, I got another question for you real quick. We're standing next to each other.
We are.
So my question to you is, what's up with this height difference? We stand next to each other a lot, and I got to tell you the truth, he's not really tall. He is tall, and I'm really kind of short. So I guess to answer his question about his height, we got to start with mine, and I think at my height, I might have been 5'8". I'm now 5'7".
Oh.
You are?
I'm 6 or 6'1" at times.
So that explains a little bit about that. There's a little bit of height difference. I just thought maybe we should point that out.
Why don't you grab that box and stand on that?
Oh my gosh, I didn't see that.
I think you should put the box there. This will be perfect.
Wait.
There, hey, look at that.
Look
Suddenly
at
Jim
that.
is 6 feet tall as well.
How did I? Thank you for pointing that out.
No, it's fun. Let's go to the graphics of one real quick.
One more
I do want to show you what the actual outlook is for the winter. I thought that would be a fair thing to take a look at.
Very good.
And we're getting into a La Nina pattern, which does generally give us some below normal temperatures across portions of Iowa. That would be what we probably will expect, slightly below normal. And as far as snowfall, which I would love to say this is true, could be slightly above normal as well. So we'll watch and see, but that is the official prediction of what the winter is supposed to look like, unless you follow the woolly bear, and then we'll find out later.
So that follows the entire winter, or is it just?
That's for the entire winter, so that's December. This is looking at December, January, and February, those 3 months, because meteorologic winter starts on December 1st, and then we find that kind of the 3 winter months of the year.
That's amazing.
So that's what we're expecting as the official forecast.
All right. And once again, you got to keep track of the weather, and you can do it in a bunch of different ways. You also have a streaming program. The Weather Team has a streaming program where you get to delve even more deeper into some of these topics.
We'd love you to check out First Alert Weather Plus. If you haven't, you can find that on our apps. You can find it on our website. It streams weather 24 hours a day. It has updated forecasts from us 24 hours a day, and we change it as well seasonally because you get different types of weather, but also if there's bad weather coming, severe weather, it will change, and also stream more radar, which is very important, and then in winter we'll stream more road conditions and things like that you need. So First Alert Weather Plus available from us here 24 hours a day.
Well, once again, I thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you for having me on Ask 9.
Congratulations on 35 years.
Appreciate that.
And thank you for pointing me out to this box.
Well, I'm good. We're even now.
This is fantastic. And as always, if you've got questions, just message KCRG on Facebook or email us. Ask9 is the name of the program. We stream every weekday, Monday through Friday, right here at 5:30. And thanks so much for joining us tonight.